Reigns just answered a very big question that a lot of fans have been having for him. So we'll see what that's about. We'll also get into what's new for the Judgment Day, Kevin Owens, and more. Starting things off with Kevin Owens and that big update to his status. Kevin Owens was set for a major WrestleMania match this year against Randy Orton, but just a few weeks before the match was set to take place, it was announced that Kevin Owens was no longer medically cleared to compete. Kevin's neck had only gotten worse, and it would be even more dangerous if he competed like that. So he was pulled from in-ring competition and needed neck surgery as soon as possible. Kevin did recently get his neck fusion procedure successfully done, and now he's in the early stages of his recovery. And as always, fans are curious to know if a return is possible or if it's looking doubtful for Kevin Owens. Well, Kevin addressed this matter during a recent appearance. Kevin Owens said that the reality of this situation is that everything is a bit unknown at the moment, but that he does have his fingers crossed that he's hopeful that he'll be able to make a return to the ring within the next calendar year. So over the next 12 months, from this September to September 2026, Kevin is hoping to make a return to the ring sometime within that time frame. And hopefully it's possible because fans can't wait to see Kevin back in there. Roman Reigns is undoubtedly the biggest star to come out of WWE since John Cena, and in recent memory, some of those massively globally known superstars go on to become big stars in the Hollywood scene. The Rock, Batista, John Cena are known as the big three of pro wrestlers that have turned into Hollywood stars. And it appears that Roman Reigns is looking to become the fourth member of that Hollywood wrestling club. Roman caught the attention of Hollywood directors and executives through his work with the Bloodline story over the last few years. And in current day, Roman is getting casted for a handful of Hollywood roles. And with his part-time wrestling schedule, it gives him a lot of time to get that movie filming done. But with the rest of the superstars that have turned into Hollywood stars, there's been one big reoccurring theme they have all faced. And that's the fact that their Hollywood schedules get to the point where it's so busy that they eventually have to leave WWE. So now everyone's looking at Roman, who appears to have one foot in the door and one foot out of the door, and they're wondering if he'll be the next star that fully leaves WWE for the Hollywood industry. Well, during a recent interview with Stephanie McMahon, Roman Reigns directly addressed this concern and revealed what his intentions are. He had this to say about that topic, quote, "I wanted to be the first guy who could do both, damn near lead a movie, and then also still main event a pay-per-view. I don't want to stop being a WWE superstar in order to wear other hats. I'm always going to be a WWE superstar. I'm always going to be Roman Reigns," end quote. So Roman is trying to accomplish something that's never been done before by any of those prior wrestling Hollywood stars. He wants to be leading a movie while simultaneously being active in WWE and headlining premium live events. He doesn't want to give up one thing for the other. So if Roman sticks to that idea, then it looks like fans wouldn't have to fear about Roman ever fully leaving WWE. But at the same time, Roman did say earlier this year that he doesn't really see himself wrestling past the next 2 or 3 years. So Roman could be lost to Hollywood or retirement, but fans are hoping that they make the most out of whatever time frame Roman has left in the ring. As far as what's coming up here in the ring for Roman, it does seem like WWE has him and Seth Rollins in a long-term feud with each other. Roman has his eyes locked in on Seth Rollins since immediately after WrestleMania 41, but still hasn't been able to get his hands on Seth Rollins. Roman is technically still feuding with The Vision, but they have him focused right now on Bronson Reed. Seth Rollins is not the focus at the moment for Roman. Braun Breaker was a victim of a backstage attack from Roman Reigns. So it looks like that could be hinting at the idea that Roman Reigns could be moving on to feud with Braun Breaker after finishing up with Bronson Reed. Roman can just be slowly making his way through The Vision until he finally gets to Seth Rollins as the final boss of this long feud against the faction. And the rumor has it right now that Roman versus Seth could take place at WrestleMania 42. So if that's the plan, you're talking about a super slow burning long-term feud here where we won't see the conclusion for about another 8 months. Things are always getting shaky when it comes to programs that are always that long. Fans do love long-term storylines, but there comes to a point where things start to feel a bit too dragged out. So hopefully Roman and Seth's program with each other doesn't go down that route. Hopefully they're able to keep it fresh. Something else that they've established with Roman Reigns is that his relationship with Jay appears to be fully restored. Roman has saved Jay on multiple occasions, and now Jay even feels comfortable enough to ask Roman for advice again. And Roman's advice this time around was not to trust CM Punk. And in the closing moments of that edition of Raw, Jay did listen to Roman's advice. CM Punk, Jay, and LA Knight got into a little pushing and shoving moment with each other, but Jay acted fast and didn't hesitate to super kick CM Punk, which is a payoff to Roman's advice from earlier in the night. Jay didn't trust Punk for a single second and took him out right away. So that's another potential direction for Roman Reigns. Could he eventually become a mentor for Jay again and lead Jay down a path of getting his edge back? We've seen Roman lead Jay to success in years past, so maybe they give that another go now that Jay trusts Roman again. But either way, expect for Roman to have a lot of exciting things coming up. Another old narrative that appears to be back for the Judgment Day, and this is for Dominik and Finn's issues with each other. Immediately following Dominik's Intercontinental title win at WrestleMania 41, we saw a lot of jealousy being exposed from Finn Balor. Finn was absolutely enraged that Dominik became the Intercontinental Champion, and we saw a few instances right after WrestleMania where it looked like Finn was trying to sabotage Dominik's title reign, but Finn was unsuccessful in those attempts. But at every opportunity he got, Finn would constantly throw an evil smile in Dominik's way, a big indication that his feelings towards Dominik were not pure at all. That was going on a lot during the early days of Dominik's title reign, but then Finn stopped doing that for a while. But this narrative and teaser returned on the August 25th edition of Raw. Dominik wanted Finn Balor to take care of AJ Styles for him, but as everyone knows, you ultimately can't really count on Finn to pick up any singles wins. So he came out losing that match to AJ Styles. When Dominik, Finn, and JD went to complain to Adam Pearce about AJ Styles, Adam Pearce completely responded by putting Dominik in another title defense against AJ Styles. And right behind Dominik's back, Finn can be seen laughing and smiling at the news. So it's been several months since we've seen Finn do that action, but it came back here during that recent Raw episode, which is another clear sign that Finn is very much still jealous of Dominik and is still secretly rooting hard against Dominik to lose the title. So now that that evil smiling is back, and now it's clear that Finn is still secretly plotting against Dominik, could we see Finn attempt another sabotage act against Dominik? If Finn does do that, he'll most likely disguise it as an accident. Finn has been taking that gaslighting route with Dominik, swearing to his face that they're brothers and on the same page, but it surely looks like he can screw over Dominik and play it off as an accident. So with another Dominik title defense on the horizon, and Finn up to his old tricks again, it definitely is a scary situation that Dominik could be walking into there. So we'll see if Dominik is able to overcome both AJ Styles and whatever Finn may be having come his way as well. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.